Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us on Anchor or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch us on YouTube. You seem to love us on YouTube with this segment we call Lose With Us, or Lose With Mike, as I continue to say that's the name of this segment. Anyways, exciting times here as we get into conference championship week in college football, and starting to really get a sense of where teams are going to start to finish in the NFL season. So it's an exciting time for football. And of course, I've got two of my favorites here, my co-hosts for Think Tank Sports. Mike, how the heck are you?
Good, gentlemen. Dave, if we're your favorites, I'm sorry. I apologize that life's led you down this path, but
I said two of my
appreciate you
favorites. I'm
bringing
going to
us
have a
in
lot of
here.
favorites.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. So doing well tonight. Stevie Covers, how are you doing out there in Denver?
I am doing great. You champions of Think Tank Sports. Thank you for asking. And Dave, I'm glad I'm in your MySpace top 8. Thank you for that vote of confidence.
Sweet. There you go.
Steve, where did we do last week, and where do we stand on the season, buddy?
Well, last week was definitely a lose with us week. We all finished down a little bit. Mike and Dave each finished at 2-2. So down a few units, both of you with the VIG. So down about 4.5 units each last week. And then I went 1-3. So my score came down 42 units and some change. Yep, I had a couple of rough ones in there, but that's okay. I hit the Raiders and Seahawks over almost on the first half. That was a fun game. And then Dave had the Michigan Wolverines plus 7.5. They didn't need any of those.
Nope, they did not.
And the Bengals minus 1.5. So those were Dave's wins. And then Mike had the over in Michigan, Ohio State, which halfway through the second quarter was looking iffy. And then all of a sudden, it was just a track meet. Yep. And then USC minus 5.5, easily covered against Mike's Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, whose quarterback entered the transfer portal today.
Yeah, I find that to be crazy that he did that.
There's a freshman coming in that they're in love with. And
I kind of figured
the writing on the wall.
Yeah, something's going on there, but still, I mean, he's had a great. I mean, people are going to be after him for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So for the season scoreboard, Mike bringing up the caboose, negative 82 units for the year. Dave in second place, positive 272 units. And then I'm comfortably in first at positive 396 units for a total group score, since this is a group project, positive 586 units for the season. So still doing pretty well overall, despite a rough week for us.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be the hanger on in the group project that, you constantly are trying to just get a little bit of positivity out of.
Well, my
and some work too.
Yeah, my faint 3-team parlay missed by one lousy point for the Thanksgiving gobble over fest. Yeah, over. The gravy did spill on great grandma's tablecloth, and we're all in trouble. So, but that's why they call it gambling, boys.
How many of these three-team parlays have you done, Mike?
I'll go back and count for next week, but
several, right? Can we conservatively say you've done 6 of them?
Oh, I was thinking 7. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yep.
Yeah.
So let's be conservative. We'll say 6 at 30 units each. That's 180 units, and you're only negative 80. So if you just stop doing these,
so you're saying there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance.
Well, we're going to have to revamp this week's card or next week for those giving me that advice. I got one that's off the board, so I'll start with that, boys. And
go for it.
I'm going to take the Red Rocket, Josh Sargent, to score a goal anytime for the U.S. plus 350.
Plus 350. Okay.
For 20 units.
Wow. Okay.
Really impressed with his aggressiveness and his length, and I just feel like he's close. He's so close. A couple of times for my very rudimentary knowledge of soccer, I was impressed with him, and those were good odds. So I wanted to take something in the World Cup. So there you go.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, the U.S. has only scored 2 goals in the entire tournament so far, which is a little disheartening. We have been having a hard time finishing. Had some great setup plays, some good midfield play, but we just can't bury one. So hopefully Sargent can bury one. I would love that. I also have the U.S. on my card. I just took them to advance.
Okay.
Against the Netherlands at plus 175. So I'm doing 15 units on that. They're plus 350 to win in regulation, plus 175 to advance. So whether they win in regulation or overtime or shootout, doesn't matter. So that's why the odds are a little bit lower on that.
Yeah, I heard Eric Winalda on today, and he fully said that he expected the U.S. to win against the Netherlands, that we are not an underdog. This is a team that has a lot of experience playing in Europe, playing for some of the big teams, AC Milan and whatnot. So he had confidence that the U.S. would advance against the Netherlands. And we're here on Friday night. So this match will be happening for those of us in the States at 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, Saturday morning.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm as confident as Winalda, but we can beat the Dutch. Like it's definitely doable. We're ranked, I think, 16th in the world, and they're like 8th, something like that. So it's not an unreasonable thing to say. Mike, your guy, Josh Sargent, I think he's one of the guys, like he's going to be a good finisher, but he's not there yet, I don't think. I think next World Cup is where he's going to shine.
Well, I mean, Pulisic literally gave up his left nut for the one of the 2 goals we've scored. So, Sargent's got to put something of value on the line here in this game for us. Dave, do you have anything World Cup or off the card related, or just give us your first pick then?
Nope. Yeah, I was gonna say nope. I'm straightforward here. There's 2. I mean, there's good matchups, like I said, in the conference championships this week. Tonight is Utah and USC. Big time matchup. Utah beat USC earlier in the year by 1 point in Utah. So USC out for rematch, looking to solidify their top 4 spot. Minus 2.5 UCLA or USC is favored, and I'm going to take the Trojans minus 2.5 for 20 units. I just think they're playing very well. The revenge factor is going to be there, and they only need a field goal to win. So I feel like that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I agree. They hold, their playoff implications and the Heisman, right there to grab. And a great job by the Pac-12 to have a standalone championship game tonight. So, yeah, very, very good pick, Dave. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. I thought about taking the over on that game, but when I looked it up, it was like 72 or something, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it must have come down. It says 67.5, which is still high anyway.
Yeah. But I feel comfortable taking that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I stayed in college for a couple. So my first college pick is Georgia and LSU under 51.5 for 40 units. This is my big play of the week. I think Georgia can be disinterested in these kinds of games where really there's not much on the line. I know LSU's quarterback's been in a walking boot all week, and he's iffy at best. And if he does play, he's not 100%. So I don't like betting unders usually, but this makes sense in this game to me. So 40 units at under 51.5.
I like it. had a sneaking suspicion Georgia would be on your card somewhere, Mike.
Yeah. When you got a chainsaw for a dick, you tend to show up everywhere.
Yeah, you've been shall we say moist for them all season.
Wow. Okay.
Gravy on grandma's linen moist. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
David?
Oh,
or no,
Steve.
Steve.
Stevie, what do you got?
Yeah, so I don't have any college picks this week. I've got 3 picks in the NFL. So we'll go with my first one that will surprise no one. Jets. Jets. Plus 3 points. Yes, absolutely. Magic Mike White gonna go light it up in Minnesota. I will absolutely take the Jets plus the 3. Their defense is a very good. The Vikings defense, despite some big names, is not very good. So I just think this is gonna be a close game. I don't think there's any way either team gets blown out. So give me the 3 points. I'll take it all day. And I'll do 30 units on that.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. I know that, Mike wanted us to temper our Super Bowl talk down this last week, but the Jets played very well against the Bears. Mike
Everyone
White
does.
just right. But Mike White, they got him in good situations, rolling out, moving. He made some nice throws. They can do that against the Vikings defense as well. And they could, potentially contend for that NFC North title, the Jets.
And the Vikings are down their starting tackle as well. So that will definitely help the Jets D line, which is already scary.
Yes, I would agree. So I'm back into the college ranks. I've really liked the way TCU has played the last couple of weeks. They're playing against Kansas State, a game that was close earlier in the year. When I first looked at this, it was TCU by 2.5. Now today it's 1.5. I was taking TCU anyway, but now that to me just feels even easier. So I just think TCU undefeated, they're going to put their stamp into the college football playoff for sure with this win. So TCU minus the 1.5, and I'm doing 30 units on that.
I love that one, Dave. Watching TCU last week when they beat Iowa State by, I don't know, 100 or so.
40 something was ridiculous.
Yeah, they are very impressive. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we have
no. It's 3-team parlay time, folks.
Here. All year I've been saying TCU is overrated and they're going to get picked off. And it dawned on me that Adrian Martinez hasn't played 18 years of college football to give up now. Okay? He's worked his whole career for this. He's going to take TCU out to the woodshed and expose them for who they are.
Oh, boy.
So I got Kansas State on the money line. You can keep your points. And Dave and I'll be going head to head on this, and I'm going for 20 units.
And
do you have the money
plus
line
110,
there?
Mike?
110, yes.
Plus 110, yep.
That I don't know about that logic there, Mike.
No.
Adrian Martinez has played college forever, so he's gonna win.
18 years he's been working for this moment.
Oh boy.
I mean, honestly, this is his 7th year of college football, right? Is it not? Yeah.
It is.
It is unreal. But he was hurt the last game. The backup played well. He got hurt, and and TCU barely won against the third stringer. I just think K-State is that kind of team too. They love picking people off and ruining their dreams. So I think this is that game.
They are a good team.
And
that game should be a track meet, so it should be fun to watch. I'm
really
looking forward to it. Yeah.
Forward. All right, Stevie, what do you got, buddy?
All right. So back to the pros. As Mike said, I like to throw a little slider in the dirt every now and then. So this one's more of a slider over the outside part of the plate. It's not quite in the dirt. But I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers against the Chicago Bears. The Bears are terrible. Their defense just lets teams score at will. like that's what they're getting paid to do, is let teams score. They traded their 2 best players. They are. You're right. Their safety Eddie Jackson is out now. He was probably their best defensive player that had left. Now he's gone. So I'm going to take the Packers to score over 23.5 points. I am not taking them to win or cover the spread or anything like that.
Team total.
I think they can get to 24. So I am doing 30 units on the Packers over 23.5.
Excellent.
Okay. I think that's a safe pick. I wouldn't have even been shocked if you picked to win outright. They're only favored by 3.5. Even though they have played terrible. The Bears are equally terrible. And they don't
What are the odds on that, Steve?
It's minus 120, so a little bit lower than the normal even odds.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. David?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple of really, really solid NFL matchups this week. The one that I am interested in first is the Miami Dolphins at the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers favored by 4 here, with arguably the best defense in the league right now. I just feel like they're going to be able to clamp down Miami a bit. And for that reason, the over-under on this is 46.5, and I am taking the under. So under 46.5 on that for 30 units.
I understand the logic. I'm not betting any unders with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on the field. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough.
So, boys, it's amazing the kind of props you can find if you keep hitting that tab over and over again. I did abandon the 3-team parlay, but I did find one, interestingly enough, in the very game Dave just talked about. Dolphins Niners. Now follow me here. Each team to score a touchdown and a field goal in each half.
Oh man.
I say yes. And if they do that, I will be paid plus 1,600.
Woo!
Yeah.
And if they do that, technically that would make the score 20-20 at the end of the regulation, right? A field goal and a touchdown in each half.
Yep.
So that would get my under. And then I would hope that somebody scored a touchdown early on with no extra point, which would get it to 46, and I would be just fine at 46.5, Mike. So let's go with that.
Okay, that's threading the needle, I think they call that, and not advisable in this game here.
No.
But yeah, I think both teams are going to score. I think it's going. I would bet the over if I had to pick one or the other, but I just think. Both teams are going to go up and down and score, and punting. The punters could probably take the night off. So that's my big bet of the week catch up for my big deficit. Hopefully.
Excellent. If my math is correct here, you have 20 units left for that one, right?
That's right.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I did a fun prop bet as well for my last bet here. And nice. We are going up to F3 Ford Field fast. We're going up to Detroit. Lions, Jags. I expect a lot of points in this one, mostly because of the Lions, because they can score and they can be scored upon. And the Jaguars have been playing a lot better lately. Trevor Lawrence starting to look like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
So I really like this prop. It is for Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence to both have 250 passing yards each. And the payout on that is plus 250. So 250 yards plus 250. It was just too good about odds to pass up. I think 250 for each is easy. So 25 units on that one.
I like
it. Very nice. Nice sniffing that prop out. I think that's I wouldn't say it's for sure, but that's very good. Very reasonable.
for the odds that they were offering on it.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the juice is worth the squeeze on that.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Was that it, or do you
nope,
have?
I've got one more pick.
Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, last pick.
Wow. No. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for that, Mr. Irrelevant. Okay. Maybe I'll change my pick now. Nope. I'm going to stay with what I picked. Mike doesn't like this, of course, but the Commanders and the Giants, huge rivalry game. The first of 2 games in 3 weeks between these two rivals. The Commanders are playing quite well lately. The Giants a little bit, up and down, but I like the Giants in this game, Mike. And you can say it's KOD and whatnot. Commanders -2. I just think this is a get well game for the Giants. I think some things are going to go their way. I can see Saquon having a big game, and I am taking the Giants outright to win. And my last 20 units on the Giants, the G-Men.
What's the money line on that, Dave?
The money line is plus 105.
105. Okay, so you're not getting a whole lot of juice out of the money line.
No, I was looking at that now. Not a lot of juice. I'm just interested in seeing the Giants win and get kind of back on the winning track here.
Yeah, if any of our fans have listened to our NFL wrap up, that I think the Giants just ran out of roster. They're playing short. They've played a couple of games this year, Steve, with just 50 or 51 active because they couldn't afford the others against the salary cap. That's how cramped they are, and where they're hurt is wide receiver. They have no talent there at all right now, and cornerback. So that's reared its ugly head the last few weeks. That being said, I like the way we match up with the Commanders. So
if the Giants could just pay a wide receiver, I mean, they'd be in really good shape.
Yeah, like former Detroit.
They are paying one. I mean, he's not doing very much.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Mike, if the Giants lose this game, is it safe to say they're in big trouble?
Yes.
I think
very much so. This is as much of a must-win game in the regular season could be.
Yep.
I believe.
All right, let's do a quick wrap-up of this week's sheets. So, on my sheet, I've got USA plus 175 to advance. Christian Pulisic, as Mike mentioned, sacrificed his Netherlands so we could play the Netherlands.
Oh boy,
15 units on that. I stole that one from a coworker. I can't take credit for that one.
Okay.
I've got the Jets plus 3 for 30 units. Packers team total over 23.5 for 30 units. And then Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence, 250 passing yards each, 25 units. Moving over to Dave's card. A couple of college games for Dave. The Fighting Trojans of USC -2.5 against Utah, 20 units on that. The Horny Catholics at TCU -1.5, 30 units on that one against Mike's beloved aged Adrian Martinez. Mike has the other side in that game. Dave wagered 30 units on TCU to cover the 1.5. Mike wagered 20 units on Kansas State to simply win. Dave's NFL picks: Giants plus 105 against the Washington Seawards, and then under 46.5 on the 49ers Dolphins game, 30 units there. Mike's remaining picks: the Georgia Chainsaw Dicks under 51.5 against LSU.
It sounds dirty when you say it.
Yeah, it does.
I'm a dirty boy. And Kansas State, as we mentioned. And then Mike has the San Francisco Miami game for each team to score a touchdown and a field goal in each half at plus 1,600. Quite the odds on that. 20 units there. And he also has Josh Sargent to score at plus 350. against the Netherlands, 20 units on that for the ugliest man on the field.
And that score anytime, including overtime and PKs.
Includes PKs too?
Yeah. There were taller odds, the odds were quite a bit different otherwise.
Gotcha.
Just to be clear.
One thing I did hear about this soccer match, and I was not aware that the Dutch goalie is like 6'8". I don't know if you all have heard this, and with this huge wingspan, might be tough to score on a guy that's that size and can cover that much ground. But let's fingers crossed that you all are in the right here, and the U.S. gets a chance to move on.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get low. You know, a big guy like that can cover the low corners.
Yeah, I mean the goalies they're all pretty big this year. The American goalie Matt Turner, he's like 6'3", 6'4", something like that. So yeah, they're all pretty big these days. Same as hockey. Like even the hockey goalies are getting huge now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in to Lose With Us. Drop us some comments and let us know how we're doing on YouTube, especially if you'd like to see anything change with the backgrounds or the audio, anything at all. Just let us know.
Our faces.
There's not much we can do about the faces. This is not a Travolta movie and Nick Cage. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and like and subscribe. Check us out on Anchor and all your podcast delivery systems here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5.